From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
An object in the sky over Montana, a Chinese spy balloon. What the military and the Montana legislature are saying about it just ahead. And hundreds of new homes, apartments, and even room for new businesses coming to Bozeman's northwest side. A preview of that development coming up at 6:37.
More Americans are headed back to the gym in person in the new year. I'm Bradley Blackburn with the top fitness trends for 2023.
I didn't get the memo that I was supposed to head back into the gym.
Did you get the memo that you were supposed to go to the gym?
It's been decades since I got that memo as well. It was still faxed to me then, not emailed. That's how long ago it was. 6:30, Chet Lehman, Matt Elbow with you. What?
Yeah.
They left it on my answering machine.
That's right. That's right. With the tape. Friday morning. Can you believe we're at Friday?
Yesterday was the longest week I've lived through in a long
Yeah,
time.
that's exactly right. Temperatures are still cold this morning. We still have icy spots out there. The roads are improving. But I was out near Jackrabbit last night and amazed at how much slush there's still. We're still dealing with out there. Temperatures into the single digits and teens for the morning. We are looking at a pretty nice warm up today. Daytime highs back into the mid to upper 30s. We should see again quite a bit of melting and softening of that snow and ice on our roadways. Overall, pretty quiet conditions for the time being. We do have some snow in the forecast to talk about that may impact early next week. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Matt. 6:31, our top story all morning long. Pentagon confirms a strange object spotted in the sky over Billings. Indeed, a Chinese spy balloon. The balloon has apparently been hovering over the northern United States for the past several days. There's a lot of people wondering what in the world it could possibly be. We're told President Biden is aware of the situation. Now, our David J. has more on what the Pentagon is saying about why the balloon may be flying over Montana.
It was not known that what was in the air was a Chinese spy balloon over Billings Logan International Airport. The Department of Defense says that this has happened before in the country. It's tracking that balloon, and at this time, it's not a physical or military threat.
That thing just morphed into two circles.
It's a sight that had people talking all across southern Montana. A Chinese spy balloon clearly visible from the streets of Billings.
Okay, that thing is not the moon. The moon is right there.
But we're now learning this strange sight in the sky has been on the government's radar for days. At a Pentagon briefing Thursday, a senior defense official said, "We have been tracking it for some time," saying it entered the continental U.S. airspace a couple of days ago. When asked whether the balloon was trying to collect intelligence on Montana's missile silos, a senior defense official said, "Clearly, the intent of this balloon is for surveillance, and so the current flight path does carry it over a number of sensitive sites. We know exactly where this balloon is, exactly what it is passing over." The Department of Defense does not believe the surveillance led to any taking of sensitive information and says other instances of the activity like this have been observed in previous years. But that does little to assure many here in Montana.
This is a perfect example of why we need Senate Bill 203. This really shows that there are nations out there that want to spy on us.
Miles City State Senator Ken Bogner is sponsoring legislation aimed at keeping adversarial nations from acquiring land and critical infrastructure in Montana. A bill he says he was motivated to sponsor because of land recently purchased by a Chinese company just 15 miles from the Minot Air Force Base in North Dakota.
The ag production land hits the issues of food security. We help feed the entire nation. And the critical infrastructure is things like oil refineries, telecommunication facilities.
As for the balloon, the Department of Defense says it did consider shooting it down, but a senior official said it was large enough to cause damage from the debris field if we downed it over an area. We just couldn't buy down the risk enough to feel comfortable recommending shooting it down. That leaves some Montanans wondering if and when it will return. In Billings, David J., MTN News.
Now, our senior political reporter Jonathan Ambarian reached out to Governor Greg Gianforte for a comment about the Chinese. I received an informational briefing yesterday on the situation involving a suspected Chinese spy balloon flying over Montana. From the spy balloon to the Chinese Communist Party spying on Americans through TikTok to CCP-linked companies buying American farmland, I'm deeply troubled by the constant streaming of alarming developments for our national security, end quote. 6:34 now, the Montana Air National Guard announced this week that it's having one of the highest first quarter enlistments in the last 10 years. The average for the past decade in the same time period is 25.1 enlistments. As of this year, 27 people joined the Montana Air National Guard, and they hope it's the start of many more to come. Cade Mentor spoke to Guard members on the importance of this accomplishment and what it means.
One of the missions of Montana Air National Guard is to attract those who are looking to kickstart their life as they reach 18. And so far as of 2023, they are already off to a successful start with 27 enlistments, making it one of the highest first quarter enlistments of the decade.
It means a lot to us. It shows
Senator,
that
nice to see you again. Thanks for
Montanans
being
still
here.
want to serve. It's no secret across the nation. Recruiting services in every branch are having trouble finding people to join the military in general.
Tyrell Kale is a recruiter for the Montana Air National Guard. He says while there are various reasons people have joined, ranging from the educational benefits to leadership training, they have seen a shift towards those intangibles.
So being there for your neighbor, being part of something bigger than yourself, serving your community and state, with a lot of the different things that the Air National Guard is part of in the state. We're here for state emergencies, fires, floods, missing persons. That is a lot of the time what people are joining for now. They want to be part of something bigger than themselves.
Staff Sergeant Dave Steinke has been a part of the Montana Air National Guard for nearly 6 years. At the time, he was enrolled at the University of Providence and decided to join for the educational benefits. Along with that was the family ties.
I've had my brother, my grandfather in the military, so it's always been kind of something that was in the back of my mind. And I decided to go in one day, talk to a recruiter, and I decided to join. And I did that from pretty much my sophomore year of college all the way up until now. And in between my years of college, I was able to work up here full time, which really got me involved with the wing, got me to love working for the Montana Air National Guard on a full-time basis. And it also allowed me to continue what I was doing and volunteer in my community.
With the various benefits the Montana Air National Guard has to offer, coupled with the quick start in enlistments, they are hoping to continue this trend, but it's all dependent on various factors.
We're trying to be present in our communities. Air National Guard, we have unit members that are across the state in various communities across our state. So we're your neighbors, we're in your communities. We're just trying to be present and tell our story and tell what we have gotten from the Air National Guard and find those individuals in our community that would also like to join our organization.
In Great Falls, Cade Mentor, MTN News.
Closer to home, a massive new development near Gallatin High School in Bozeman expected to bring in hundreds of residential units and commercial space to that area. Our Edgar Cedillo finds out what will happen in the 3 phases of this building project.
A multi-phase project in North Bozeman is expected to bring plenty of commercial and residential pieces to North Bozeman.
We had gone up to Bozeman and we're looking at spaces in 2019, and then of course COVID hit and that all came to a screeching halt.
Peter Vanderloos is the owner of Black Orchid, a hot yoga studio in Billings, who is now ready to expand his business into Bozeman.
I feel like it's been a process in the making, and Bozeman was always the next spot.
Brian Klein is a developer for the 160-acre site called Northwest Crossing in North Bozeman. Construction broke ground on the first building last fall.
Well, this is our first commercial building, Building I, approximately 23,000 square feet.
Phase 1 of the project is taking place on the corner of Cottonwood and Oak. It's seeing 150,000 square feet of commercial space under construction, as well as site work being done on more than 300 luxury apartments.
What we're looking at here is the site work being completed for Northwest Crossing Apartments.
Phase 2 of the project will feature over 350 homes closer to Baxter Lane, and in Phase 3 they plan to build more than 300 units of housing.
When fully built out, we'll have approximately 1,000 residential doors within the community, as well as over 150,000 square feet of commercial space in 11 different commercial buildings.
Klein says that the residential buildings will help with the housing need, but it's the commercial component of the project that will benefit those in this part of town who have to drive closer to the center of Bozeman for services.
This neighborhood commercial center is going to help meet a lot of demand in that regard, especially for the high school kids for lunch. Just having those services here means the people in this neighborhood won't have to drive to Huffine Lane or to downtown or to 19th Street. They can walk over here.
Vanderloos says he's excited to be a part of the project and expand across the state and integrate into the new community.
We're excited to team up with a lot, or partner up with a lot of local businesses in Bozeman and just do what we do.
The residential component as well as the commercial side of the project is expected to be completed sometime towards the end of 2023 to early 2024. In Bozeman, Edgar Cedillo, MTN News.